realized that my problem was an all-athlete problem. If you leave the game that you're in, and you don't know what path to start walking, right? You can have the greatest plans, but all of a sudden you've lost your team and your teammates. You've lost your source of income. You get replaced on the field immediately and not too soon after in the hearts of your fan base, and you don't have a way to connect. And so Thuzio was originally a way for athletes, former athletes, to connect with their communities that they lived in. Now the challenge was how we handled the media. So the first media imprint that happened off of Thuzio was rent an athlete, right? And so, right, what does that even mean? And so we had to find a way to, because it was snarky. This article was a snarky article, and it made it challenging for us to sign on our athletes, because now no athlete wants to be rented, right? No athlete wants to be diminished and their value brought down to this transactional level. In my experience with business, if you're going to fail, you better do it fast, right? And so we started pivoting, and then we got to the Super Bowl that was here in New York, and luckily I had a good relationship with Dan Kaplan from Ernst & Young, and they wanted to do an event. Instead of buying the title sponsorship for the Super Bowl with $300 and something thousand, or maybe even more than that, they wanted to do events in their building with athletes coming and having this kind of conversation. And so I said, Dan, we can do that. I promise you we can do it. And so they spent a third of the price, and we had Joe Montana and Dan Marino and a couple of Giants came for a couple of days, and it was all in Ernst & Young building. They had 500 people come, 500 clients who they could never get into their building, all of a sudden wanted to come into their building, and it was an enormous success. And we, as Thuzio, said, we're onto something, right? Let's commercialize this. Let's make this into something, and we'll call it the Thuzio Executive Club. It ultimately got shortened to Thuzio. And so our process was just, let's get people in a room, have interesting conversation, whether it be business, sports, entertainment, whatever, as you mentioned earlier, and let's just talk. And we'd open it up to the crowd.